This is a video about Shein supply chain that has never been shown on YouTube. I am at a village where local people call Shein Village because here are where hundreds of Shein's manufacturers are located. Today, my brother and I are going to go inside this village and hopefully to capture some footage of Shein's extensive supply chain. Back in 2022, Shein was questioned about its labor violation in its supply chain here in China. Shein then pledged $15 million over 3 to 4 years to upgrade its supply chain, aimed to ensure ethical practice and improve the welfare of workers. Despite these efforts, Shein continues to be questioned over labor practices, including concerns about forced labor and working conditions within its extensive supply chain. About 2 years has passed. Let's see how Shein is doing with this commitment. This village is called Nancun, located in Panyu District, Guangzhou, a city in southern China and home to Shein's headquarters. It has been reported that there are more than 500 large and small manufacturers in the village working for Shein. I do not work for Shein and I'm not a journalist. I'm just a YouTuber who happened to live around this area. And I'm curious to see if labor violations still exist, and if so, why it's still a problem that has not been solved. These 500 manufacturers form a highly responsive supply chain that meets all of Shein's needs for its on-demand small batch production model. From design and fabric sourcing through production and packaging, the entire process can take as little as a few hours. Shein has been widely criticized for poor working conditions, excessive hours, and low wages. Today, I want to explore this issue further. Walking through the village, we could see lots of hiring information. I spotted a job board packed with openings in garment production, with people regularly scanning it for full-time or contract roles. We met a worker in the industry who shared insights about the pay rates for some of the hiring positions.
他是这样子的，你看那些计件的，他把工资都写得很高，但是包月的呢，他敢不敢写这么高的？包月的他就不敢写这么高了。
他计件的话，它是多少钱一件？
这个不一定的，计件的要看衣服那个。
看衣服。他有那个底薪吗？
没有，
都没有底薪啊。
像那个你看纸浆、车板，还有那个杂工，这些都是包月的。他1万到1万3，基本工资可能就是1万，7000到8500的话，我估计就是7000。我们在外面租这个的话，基本上都差不多就有1万2、3的包月的。
那个纸浆有1万2、3。
你看他这个才写个1万到1万3，然后你看他凭着写的那么高，你看就这个写的就不靠谱啊。
Just based on what he has experienced, the actual pay rates might be lower than stated.
都有8500左右，他才7000到8500。
I also documented the working environments, which range from large factories to small family-run workshops. To be honest, these conditions may not seem pleasant, but they represent the industry standard for garment manufacturing in China. To better understand suppliers and worker compensation structures, I interviewed a factory owner in Dongguan, China, a personal connection who had previously been approached by Shein.
哇，1年見一次咪問我。
所以你们也没有做Shein？
没有做，
他们也没有找你做。
有朋友介绍，但是我没做。但是那个叫做Shein的话，它快返，它单量大，还要那个其实利润很少，因为我只有3到5块的利润。如果是我自己做的，像我们这种做3到5块就亏死了。
懂。
就它的价格就是在不到5块钱利润。就是他所有的东西都打到底的，就是给工人多少，
对，就是他给工人的单价也是很低。
对，他给工人的单价基本上是后整，就是比如说给工人多少钱就多少钱，就基本上没有太多多余的那种。 所以没什么利润空间。
了解。
It fits my impression that Shein pushes for the lowest possible prices during negotiation to maintain its competitive edge. Because competition in the Chinese market is harsh, suppliers have little choice but to do what Shein requested to stay in business. I am at the village again today, and I want to pretend to be someone who is looking for a job and see if I can talk to anyone who actually work in the industry to get some first-hand information of how they feel about working in Shein's supply chain. But just to know that, like any other industry, wages in the garment manufacturing industry are based on different rules and skills required to perform the task.
你记不记剪线？那个做计件是多少钱？4毛钱一件。
你好，我想问一下，这边工作真的是有1万多，工资这么高吗？
网上催叫那个整个店高一点。
什么？一般5、6千，不是说都有1万多吗？
看你做什么工种的呀
？OK，要不要加班呢？
要。
这边就说有1万多，我们就想来看看。
那有是有。
但要加班是不是？
可能要赚10几个小时吧。
10几个小时才有1万多。主管有吧？就是
8、9千吧。
8、9千。我刚看外面招聘写16000哎。
什么叫小？很少的，1万多的。
3、400是日结吗？不是。
长工。
长工。但也是计件是啊，有没有底薪啊？
哪有什么底薪啊？
我刚
妈的加班费都没有。
加班费都没有啊？
没有。
他不是计件吗？
是计件啊，没加班费啊。
计件怎么会有加班费？
对啊，就是你做多少件？
不是自愿，也有的时候也是强迫，不加也得加，要凑。
他为什么要强？要赶出那个出单。This worker shared that his shift runs from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. with breaks for lunch and dinner. These hours seem typical in the Shein village. After a quick dinner, my friend and I returned to Fillmore. Many manufacturers, both large and small, were still operating at the time.
上面燈火通明。
係啊，加班全。As I film this video, I feel very conflicted. Based on Shein's website, workers in its supply chain, on average, earn more than the average wage in private sector. But Shein does not disclose how these samples are collected without knowing how many hours they work. It is hard to tell if these numbers are competitive. Based on my conversations with people in the industry, observations of job openings, and visit other clothing manufacturing market in the city, I would say pay rates in Shein's extensive supply chain is roughly the industry average, not significantly above. In order to earn the above average income, you would need to take extra shifts and sometimes under high pressure, conditions I have seen Shein's worker describe on Chinese social media. Behind this phenomenon lies Shein's need to meet the demands of its rapid product turnover and tight deadlines, leading the company to turn a blind eye to this labor practice. China's massive population provides a continuous supply of low-cost labor for labor-intensive industry, something Shein has capitalized on. Of course, we hope that every factory worker can work in better conditions, receive fair wages, and have reasonable working hours. However, in the fierce competition of the market, they may not have better alternatives. The consumer demand for low-cost fast fashion, Shein's need for an agile supply chain, and local government's pursuit of economic growth together create the environment in which this phenomenon persists. I feel conflicted. I see the shadow of exploitation. But this might not just be a Shein issue. this might also be the hidden shadow behind the success of China's manufacturing boom.